Well, like virtually everyone in Washington, Nancy Pelosi has taken innumerable shots at the coronavax because she's a good person, unlike you. And yet, and this is kind of a bewildering fact for those of us who believe in science, Pelosi announced today that she's tested positive for Rona anyway. How does that work? In any case, in a statement, Pelosi's spokesman explained the vaccine is working very effectively. Quote, the speaker is fully vaccinated and boosted and is thankful for the robust protection the vaccine has provided, end quote, except for the fact she's now infected again. So, dude, great.
That's how humans laugh. Anyway, so Nancy Pelosi got sick, and Tucker Carlson, who went to elite colleges, doesn't understand how that's possible because, as you might recall, both in advance of the vaccines being rolled out, as well as the now more than a year that we've had with them, the claim that has always been made is, if you get vaccinated, you can't get COVID. Wait, that's not true. Nobody ever said that. He's just pretending that. He, a man who has been vaccinated, is just pretending that. And he also is pretending not to understand how they're saying that she's defended and yet she got it. Well, how is that a defense? That's like believing that the way that bulletproof vests protect you is by making all the bullets miss. That's not what protection means. You'll notice she's not in the hospital. You'll notice if you look into the numbers that those who are vaccinated have much lower rates of death, much lower rates of hospitalization, much less dangerous, much less debilitating cases of COVID. I understand that, you as a viewer understand that, Tucker Carlson definitely understands that, but for some reason that I'll never understand, in his best economic interests to pretend that he doesn't understand that for the purposes of confusing his audience. And in this case, it's not just him. Brian Kilmeade made similar points about Jen Psaki.
And you tell us the vaccine works, but then you stop talking about it, and everybody that's testing positive for it, like Jen Psaki, 4 shots.
Yep.
So you wonder why people are having doubts about this whole 2-year torture, condescending talk that we've been experiencing
Nancy Pelosi,
from that White House.
Nancy Pelosi, vaccinated and boosted. We do wish her well. We hope she's okay. I wonder if she's going to get the monoclonals.
I heard that she's asymptomatic. Most people are asymptomatic.
Well,
and they particularly don't have that strong symptoms, again, if they've been vaccinated, which every one of those 3 people, all of whom have been vaccinated, understand perfectly well. Now, none of this is new. Fox encouraging their fans to be suspicious of the medicine that the Fox hosts themselves are taking, but they are still sticking with it. It's been 2 years at this point, Jordan, and we know the toll. We may not be able to name names, but we know many members of their audience aren't here to watch anymore because they put their faith in those jokers.
Right, just look at the number of deaths in the United States compared with the rest of the world, country by country. We lead the world. This is horrific, and it's because of misinformation and outright lies by those hosts. There was a study done. I just did a Rebel HQ video on this because I thought it was really fascinating. Folks, researchers took a clip of Trump talking about the importance of getting the vaccine while he was on Fox in March of 2021, turned it into a PSA and ran it on YouTube before Fox videos and put that clip right at the beginning before you could skip it. And they identified 1,000 rural counties in the country that had low vaccination rates. And half of those counties got the ad and half they excluded from getting the ad. In counties that got the ad, over 100,000 people got the shot. And compared to the other counties. So if they're, the people that they look up to and trust and listen to, just tell them the truth, they'll do it. It's That's not amazing. Really skepticism, it's that they're being willfully misled. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, well, I think one of the key points, the most important key points that you made, Jordan, in a couple segments ago, is that really the biggest strategy of the Republican Party, the Republican entity, is just humiliating the other side, point blank, period. Yeah. So much to the point, unless Donald Trump's in jail, here he comes in 2024, which let's not hold our breaths about that. Donald Trump's entire platform in 2024 is gonna be, I won in 2020. That's pretty much the only thing he's gonna be saying. The Republican Party, this is a party that doesn't believe in climate change, that since the education department was founded, they've been trying to get rid of it. They don't think we need the Environmental Protection Agency, even though they started it. I mean, they don't have anything to talk about. If they didn't do this, they would have to do the right thing. And Lord forbid that.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, in terms of the the active being misinformed that you mentioned, Jordan, there was a great example in real time of it by Brian Kilmeade. Brian Kilmeade said, "Oh my God, Jen Psaki got COVID despite being vaccinated," which he knows is entirely possible, and that's not what protection means. And then says, "No wonder people are suspicious," while he's doing his 500th segment intended to make them suspicious. He claims, no, it's just my willful misunderstanding of the situation that's making them be suspicious. It's not the fact that this is a targeted strategy by our network, which it clearly is, and it's a costly one. News just came out earlier today about life expectancy. One would think that in a functioning society, life expectancy should be trending up at all times. As we get better medicine, better understanding of food, all that, we're better protected from foreign invasion and everything, it should be going up, but it's not actually. They found that US life expectancy fell by just under a half a year in 2021, adding to a dramatic plummet that had happened in 2020. Many of the deaths occurred in people in the prime of their lives from COVID here, and drove the overall US life expectancy to fall to 26.6 years, the lowest in at least 25 years. Things are not just kind of getting worse, they're getting demonstrably worse in numeric terms and shaving years of your life off the end of it. And look, everybody understands that COVID is a part of this, but let's dive into COVID and Fox, the misinformation, the vaccine hesitancy, and all of that. So we're gonna break this down along racial lines. While the 2020 drop, so this is not the most recent number, but the one previous, the drop in life expectancy hit Black and Hispanic Americans hardest. One should not be surprised by that. Socioeconomically, we know there was basically nothing done to stop a completely unequal hit, both in terms of public health and economically during the first year of the pandemic. So this is hardly surprising, but that was not the case in the most recent year. Life expectancy among Hispanics didn't significantly change from 2020 to 2021. For Black Americans, it actually went up slightly by a little less than half a year. But in the most recent numbers, the life expectancy of white Americans fell by about a third of a year, mostly among white men, who we know have the least chance of having gotten vaccinated because of people like Tucker Carlson and Brian Kilmeade. And so they are literally killing their fans, which is a hell of a strategy.
Well, it's working for them, so I guess they'll keep it up. It's sad, and that's as sad and ridiculous as that is to say, it's literally working for them. It's looking like the Democrats are gonna get swept in the midterm, so.
It is looking like that. By the way, just a general question. Oh, sorry, Jordan, were you jumping in?
It's sadistic. They're rich, out of touch elites, and I think they just ultimately get a kick out of manipulating people, even to their own detriment, and sometimes to their death. They don't care. It's a game to them. When you get to that strata in our society, it's not just indifference to the poor and to the working class in this country. It is actual disdain and malice.
100%. By the way, my wife is watching a show right now. I think it's on Hulu, and I think it's called The Girl from Plainville. Are you familiar with this? It's about the girl who had been encouraging her boyfriend to kill himself. It was this big scandal. So what she did was encourage him to take his own life, and it's clearly illegal. But only when you do it with just one person specifically, not when you encourage many, many people to die. It's weird how the law works, isn't it?